Lollipop, lollipop, oh lolly, 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 lollipop, lollipop, oh lolly, 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 lollipop, lollipop, oh lolly, 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 lollipop. Lollipop, lollipop, oh lolly, 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 lollipop, lollipop, oh lolly, 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 lollipop, lollipop, oh lolly, 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 lollipop. Call my baby lollipop, tell you why. His kiss is sweeter than an apple pie. And when he does his shaky rock and dance, man, I haven't got a chance. I call him lollipop, lollipop, oh lolly, 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 lollipop, lollipop, oh lolly, 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 lollipop, lollipop, oh lolly, 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 lollipop. Sweeter than candy on a stick, huckleberry, cherry, or lime. If you had a choice, he'd be your pick, but lollipop is mine. Lollipop, lollipop, oh lolly, 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 lollipop, lollipop, oh lolly, 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 lollipop. Lollipop, lollipop, oh lolly, 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 lollipop, lollipop.
Hi, Judy. How was your weekend? How was your date with Frank?
Great. I'll tell you all about it at lunch.
Jeannie Bayliss, D+. I know you can do better, Jeannie.
Yes, Miss Hopkins.
Garth Bergeron, B-. I think you had a B+ on the last geography test, didn't you?
Yes, Miss Hopkins.
Well, this is quite an improvement.
Thank you.
Morris Wilkerson, C-. Good work, Morris. Geraldine Hoberman, C. Congratulations, Geraldine. Harrison Bergeron, A+.
Uh-oh.
How many years have you been held back now, Harrison? 3?
4.
Well, you never get to grade 15 with these marks.
I know, it's pretty embarrassing having your younger brother in the same class.
When was your band last adjusted?
A month ago.
They increased the intensity?
And the frequency. I mean, it just doesn't help.
Don't get discouraged, Harrison. You know, many pupils would be tempted to cheat on their tests, give wrong answers. You've got a lot of integrity.
Yeah, I wish I could get rid of some of it.
Who's your intellitrist?
Dr. Gordon?
He's well regarded, but a little old-fashioned. I'm going to suggest to your parents that they take you to see Dr. Eisenstock. You know, 4 years ago when I started teaching, my pupils had the second highest academic average in the state. I was very nearly fired. He helped me tremendously.
He's good?
Yes.
It'll save you the time when you're in a bind. And now, let's get back to championship golf.
Jerry needs this 18-inch putt to send the tournament into extra holes. The putt looks like it's breaking slightly left to right. Let's watch.
Good round.
Congratulations, Cleavon. Tough break, Jerry. Do you think the committee handicapped you too seriously? That's probably the wobbliest shaft of any putter on the circuit.
No excuses. Cleavon just played real consistent. He deserved to win.
Jerry, you're a class act. Good luck next week in the Sherwood Open.
Thank you.
Now, Cleavon, how did you do it?
Now, Frank, in your 35 years as a plumber, you must have had some fascinating experiences.
Oh. This one day, I get a call to fix a bathtub leak. I knock on the door, this kid answers the door, I tell him I'm here to fix the leak. Which I do. And when I'm finished, his mother comes home, and guess what?
I don't know.
She didn't call me. I was supposed to go to 36 Summerhill Drive, and I went to 26 instead. It was a mistake. And they had a leak, too. They both had bathtub leaks.
Oh, does that beat all?
John Fletcher, tax evasion.
Ready. Aim. Fire.
Pearl DuPont, shoplifting.
Ready. Aim. Fire.
We'll have more executions coming to you live from San Quentin after this word from our sponsor.
Checkmate. Sorry.
That's all right. You can't help it. You want to go to the malt shop? Joey and the guys said they were going to hang out.
No, go ahead.
You sure?
Yeah, go on.
What is 17 times 14?
238.
And who was the 19th President of the United States?
Rutherford B. Hayes.
Can you help him, Doctor?
I'm not sure, Mrs. Bergeron. We have been experimenting with pitch and length as variables. With your permission, we could try to modify Harrison's intrusions in these respects.
Oh, if you think it can help, certainly.
What is the square root of 529?
23.
And who discovered radium?
Madam... Kerman?
And what is 8 plus 6?
17. No, 14.
Very good. I think you're going to see a big improvement, Harrison.
Great.
Thank you, Doctor. Don't you look handsome? Doesn't he look handsome, George?
Almost as handsome as his old man. And that's pretty darn handsome.
Oh, I'd better base the roast.
You nervous, son?
Well, a little. I mean, what if we don't hit it off?
I know how you feel. When I first got to meet your mom, I was up all night worrying, what if the computer screwed up? But it picked the absolute 100% perfect girl for me. And it will for you, too. You'll see. Come here. Come on in.
Hello. Mrs. Bergeron? Oh, please call me Hazel. Do come in. This is my husband, George.
We're Wally and Jane Starbuck.
Welcome.
It's so nice to meet you both. And this is our son, Harrison.
What a fine-looking boy.
Harrison, hello.
Sir? Ma'am.
This is our daughter, Elma.
Oh, aren't you lovely?
Say hello, honey. Hello.
Hi. Pleased to meet you.
Okay.
George and I were both average students, and Garth's getting mostly C's. I don't know how we ever produced Harrison.
Well, they say the intelligence gene is the hardest one to wipe out. It can pop up after 3 or 4 generations. But with Elma being a little shortchanged on the intellectual side, I think their kids will be just fine.
Like with Wally and me. No matter how high they turned up his band, he could never get his grades down. But paired off with me, we've had absolutely average kids. Except, of course, for Elma here.
Well, I think the computer's doing a terrific job. I'll bet you by the next century, there won't be a lick of difference between anybody on this earth.
What lousy handicap?
You said it. They should have put weights on his legs.
I can't believe it.
So
Look at this stuff.
The boys do like their sports.
Wally and I were thinking about December 3rd for the ceremony. Would that suit you?
Oh, a December wedding. Oh. Oh, yes, that would be fine. What size reception were you thinking of?
Well, of course, the law allows up to 200 guests, but most of our friends have kept it to 100, so we don't want to seem like we're, showing off.
Of course.
So what school do you go to?
parting.
Do you like it?
Everyone makes fun because I'm stupid.
Yeah, some kids can be real jerks. But you shouldn't feel bad. It's not your fault you're stupid any more than it's my fault that I'm smart. We can't all be average.
My science teacher says someday we all will be.
Anyway, I don't think you're all that stupid.
Thanks. I don't think that you're all that smart.
Not too late, boys.
Okay.
Good night.
I can't believe you're getting married.
Me either.
You like her, though? She's nice, isn't she?
Yeah. I mean, I guess she seems nice. Look, I spent 2 hours with her. Now I'm going to spend the rest of my life with her? Does that make sense to you?
Sure.
Hey, his sandbag fell off. Did you see that?
What a show-off.
I've never seen anyone without a handicap. He's happy. Look at him, he's freaking happy.
He won't be when the committee sees this.
Yeah, it's really for you. 0.8 carats.
Where did diamonds come from?
Well, they were formed millions of years ago, deep beneath the surface of the Earth. When carbon compounds were compressed to temperatures greater than 9,000 degrees Fahrenheit. That pressure's more than 3,000 pounds per square inch.
I mean, like, where do they come from? Like Philadelphia?
Oh, different places. Mostly South Africa.
Oh. Where's that?
Africa.
Oh.
The southern part.
Harrison,
Yeah?
do you like me?
Well, yes, of course.
Because it's okay if you don't sometimes. Like if you're busy or if I'm being dumb or something. Like my brothers think I'm a pain, but I still love him and take care of him. Like with the cooking and cleaning.
Look, could we talk about something else?
I'm sorry.
And you don't have to say you're sorry.
I'm sorry.
Would you like another milkshake?
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Well, a pink one.
Okay.
Okay.
What name is given to the period that started with the end of the Second World War and ended with the dissolution of the Soviet Union? Morris.
The Cold War?
Right. And what do we call the period after the Cold War?
The Great Recession?
And what made this recession different from all other recessions before it, Jeannie?
Well, it never really ended. It just kept going.
Why? Garth?
I forget.
Bridget? Class? Anyone? Harrison?
I don't remember.
It's all right. Go ahead.
Well, in all previous recessions, once the economy bottomed out and production increased, unemployment decreased. But in the Great Recession, because of new and improved technologies, fewer and fewer workers were required in all sectors. With so many people forced from their jobs, the traditional economic recovery was impossible.
Exactly. By the year 2018, only 15% of the population had jobs. America was divided into two camps, a highly skilled and educated, prosperous elite, and an unemployed, destitute majority. What happened next? Garth?
Well, the people who didn't have jobs were very unhappy, and they started making trouble. Like they'd bomb buildings and have riots and kill people and stuff.
Right. And that was the beginning of what we now know as, class?
The Second American Revolution.
Right. And we'll stop there for today. Harrison, can you stay behind?
Think you'll manage to graduate this time?
Think you'll ever learn how to spell graduate?
Keep moving, Morris. Your grades are starting to creep up again, Harrison.
I know, I'm sorry. I can't help it. Do you want me to see Dr. Eisenstock again?
I think that would be best.
Harrison, what is the first article of the new American Constitution?
That all men are not created equal. It's the responsibility of the government to render them so.
Indeed. Well, son, you are one of those men, and for all intents and purposes, I am the government. It's a simple procedure, really. We just create electronic blockages at certain points. The brain is forced to reroute messages and information around these blockages. The new routes require double or triple the time. All mental activity is slowed, and intelligence drops drastically.
Is it risky?
Oh, not at all. The surgery is carried out through 2 tiny holes drilled in the skull. He'll be out of hospital in a couple of days at most.
Well, I suppose we should talk it over with his father.
Yeah.
Mrs. Bergeron, the operation is not optional. The handicapping guidelines make it mandatory for cases like Harrison's.
Oh.
Well, maybe we should just try adjusting the band again. I mean, an operation seems so permanent.
I'm sorry. No. You have a very special mind, Harrison. Extraordinary, really. Whatever electrical intrusions we place, your brain overcomes them.
Great.
Oh, tell me the truth, Harrison. Won't you be just a little relieved when you're just the same as everybody else? It's lonely being smart.
When can you schedule us?
Is tomorrow too soon?
Oh, no. That'll be fine. We've got a wedding to plan.
Could I have a word with Harrison alone? So, what are your plans for tonight?
We'll probably just sit around and watch TV. Why?
Well, it is your last night with your natural brain. A very exceptional brain. Have you ever heard of head houses?
Yeah.
Ever been to one?
They're against the law.
Technically, yes, but as long as you keep your band on, the authorities tend to look the other way.
You've been to one?
For research, occasionally. I just thought you might like to know what your mind is capable of. It will be your last chance.
Maybe.
Well, if you should decide to go, here's the address of one in the neighborhood. It's clean, well run. You can tell them that I sent you.
Oh, honestly.
Hi, Dad.
Hi, son.
Good game?
You bet. Really well handicapped. Tied going into the fourth quarter. I think Green Bay's gonna pull it out. Even with his blinkers on, Smith is a much better quarterback. Everything okay at the doctor's?
Yeah, fine. Dad, can I ask you something?
Sure, son. Of course you can. Oh, you know that. You all right?
I guess it's just... everything's going okay for me, you know? I mean, I'm gonna graduate someday, and I'm gonna marry a real nice girl. I mean, Mom and I don't really have all that much to talk about, but she's nice. I mean, I really like her. And I'm sure we're gonna have, you know, average kids and all that. I mean, hell, tomorrow I'll be average. It just all pisses me off. I mean, I don't want people messing with my brain. Does that seem right to you? Dad! Does that seem right to you?
Sorry, son. I just got a buzz. I kind of lost the thread of what you were saying.
I'm just saying that if I have such a great life ahead of me, how come I feel so lousy every time I think about living it?
Oh, did you see that pass? Oh, Smith is really something.
Dad, forget about football. I need to talk to somebody.
Right. Right. Forgive me, son. Where were we? You were at the doctor today, right?
It's not important, Dad. Forget about it.
You sure you're all right, eh?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yes?
Dr. Eisenstock gave me your address.
Oh, what's your name, dear?
Harrison Bergeron.
Well, come right in, Harrison. Care for a drink, dear?
No, thanks.
Ooh, want to get right to it, huh? Well then, is there any particular field you'd like to explore this evening?
I don't know.
Well, then let me introduce you to some of our hostesses. This is Rebecca. She specializes in 19th century German philosophy. Hegel, Schopenhauer, Nietzsche. This is Myra. Quantum theory. Jennifer, Cubist, and post-impressionist art.
Hi.
Philippa. She's our chess expert.
Chess? Well, I like chess.
Well, good. Philippa, this is Harrison.
Hello.
Hi.
Philippa will take you somewhere where you can enjoy a little privacy.
Okay.
Oh, Harrison, it is customary to pay before.
Oh, sorry. How much?
$50 for an hour of chess. If you wish any special intellectual stimulation beyond the ordinary, you can work that out with Philippa.
Of course, Einstein could never accept Heisenberg's indeterminacy principle. He said God doesn't play dice.
His theory of infinite sexuality, of course, shocked his contemporaries. It was not until the 1920s that the medical world recognized his field of work.
Come on. Sit. It's Harrison, right?
Right.
Well, Harrison, are there any particular openings you'd like to explore?
What do you mean?
Well, you know, Sicilian Queen's Gambit, Rue Lopez. What did you think I meant?
Nothing. I don't know. Listen, what did that lady mean downstairs about special intellectual stimulation?
Well, if you like, I can play without my band.
But that's against the law.
We're alone in here.
Hey, what if the cops come? An alarm? Well, how do you know I won't turn you in?
You wouldn't do that now, would you?
What would they do to you?
Probably shoot me.
You're brave.
You gonna report me, Harrison? There's a telephone downstairs. Call the police.
Move.
You know, it won't be much of a contest if you keep your band on.
I can hold my own. Thank you very much.
I'm sure you do a lot of that.
Would you stop being so weird and just play chess, please?
Okay.
There's nothing I can do. I mean, you've got mate in 3.
That's right.
God, that combination with the rook sacrifice, I mean, that was just beautiful. God, I never thought the game could be so beautiful.
You're pretty good, you know. Why do you lose the band? You still got 50 minutes left.
I don't think so.
You're not gonna win.
I know, but sometimes you learn more by losing.
Not so aggressive. Be patient. Treat the game like it was a woman.
Haven't you ever had your band off before?
What for? I mean, being smart's gotten me in trouble my whole life. I mean, being smarter doesn't sound all that great.
Why'd you come here?
I don't know. My doctor suggested it. I'm having corrective brain surgery tomorrow.
I love that term, corrective brain surgery. You know, you'll never be the same.
I know that.
You scared?
About what? Being like everybody else? Or graduating? Or just having average friends and average kids in my average house? I mean, would you be scared?
Let's go!
It's the police! Where's your band?
It's all right, don't worry.
Check them out in there! Come on!
Not him.
Sorry, ma'am, no exceptions.
Not him. I like him. Can you hear me? No, not him. Not him. I like him. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Bring him in.
Hello, Harrison.
I screwed up.
Actually, we thought you were quite noble.
What happened? Is the operation over?
There's no operation, Harrison.
They gave me a shot.
Just to bring you here.
Where?
The National Administration Center.
You?
I'm really sorry about last night. I really am. You didn't exactly follow the script.
What script? Who's he?
John Claxon, chief officer here. It's a pleasure to meet you, Harrison.
Oh, no, not quite yet. Here. Drink this.
I know. It's all very puzzling for you. I'll try to explain as briefly as I can. As you know, since the Second Revolution, America has been striving to create a truly egalitarian society, a society of average people. Well, the problem is that to run such a society requires certain high administrative functions that the average person is simply incapable of performing.
You mean like senator or president?
Oh, good Lord, no. I mean, anyone with average intelligence or less could handle those. No. But it's the people who supervise the economy, who run the railroads, the airlines, the communications, manufacturing. Unfortunately, they can't be average. Now, surprisingly, there are very few of us in numbers. What is it, under 3,000, something like that?
Yeah.
But you were brought here because we would like you to be one of us.
Me?
Our recruiting department has been tracking you for 2 years. Your intellectual gifts are quite considerable.
You mean the head house? The chess? That was all some sort of a test?
Of course. That's why we brought you here like this. This is a secret facility. The general public doesn't know where it's located, or indeed that it exists. The idea of it being only possible to have true equality by fostering inequality might be a trifle difficult for them to grasp.
If you should decide to pursue your former life, you will leave here under anesthetic as you arrived.
Well, how do you know I wouldn't tell people about it?
While returning is an option, it is not without consequences. The operation that we discussed is real. Indeed, it has already been performed on the majority of last evening's potential recruits.
Well, what happens if I join?
Well, your friends and family will be told that you died in surgery, and you'll start a whole new life. There will be many sacrifices. You will live here on a permanent basis, and you will not be allowed to have children. But there are rewards. You will have the freedom to use that brain of yours. Harrison, I know that it's difficult to digest, but think of this. 1/10 of the American population, 35 million people, died in the Second Revolutionary War and its aftermath. Now, unless we remain vigilant, it'll happen again. Could you live with that? We'll put you somewhere quiet where you can think.
$35 million.
Well, let's not quibble about the numbers.
So, this is where you'll be living.
This is it, huh?
Yeah. You like the decor? There was a craze in the 1990s for about a week called New Age. I think these are some of the leavings.
It's different. Can we play?
Yeah. Yeah, another time. But here's some books on chess. Oh. Prince. Read it. And I picked out some laser discs of old movies and TV. You're allowed to watch this stuff now. And in the morning, I'll start showing you around.
Okay.
We have to find out what you're good at. See you tomorrow.
Thanks.
Is it? Oh, it's okay. I had a hunch this might happen. You've got 10 minutes to shower and change.
Hey, those movies were great. Casablanca and the one about Rosebud.
Yeah.
Hey, and who is that old guy in King Lear?
King Lear?
No, the actor.
Macaulay Culkin.
Right.
Pleasure to meet you, young fella. You've come at a good time. Say, how would you like to pick the next governor of Connecticut?
Excuse me?
We're just about to select a new governor of Connecticut. In the old days, politicians used to come to power through a process of election rather than selection. Nowadays, of course, we know nobody's any better at the job than anybody else. Folks never really believed it made any difference anyway. All elections did was make sure nobody got too big for their britches, become a tyrant, something like that. Our process does that every bit as well, and it saves a whole lot of time and money.
Makes sense.
Well, how about it?
Me?
Sure. It's fine with the other members of this electoral commission.
Well, what do I do?
Well, the names of all the adults in Connecticut have all been randomly collated with numbers in this computer. You just punch in any number up to 8 digits. Go on. Genevieve Wochak, New Haven, married, mother of 3, waitress.
Hello?
Is that Mrs. Genevieve Wochak?
Yes.
One moment, please. Give her the news. Go on, you picked her, you tell her.
Hello?
Hello?
Mrs. Wochak?
Yes.
It's my honor to inform you that you're the next governor of Connecticut.
Me? Really?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, isn't that something? Jenny, go get Daddy out of that bathroom. I'm gonna be governor. Douglas, don't you put that in your sister's hair. Well, when do I start governing, dear?
Someone will be contacting you later today to work out the details of your inauguration.
I'll have time to get my hair done.
Absolutely. Well, goodbye for now, Governor Wochuk. Delightful woman. Let's crank up her band a smidge.
Yes, sir.
Ever hear of a horse called Farlap? Greatest racehorse that ever lived. Problem was, he always kept winning. People stopped betting, stopped coming to the racetrack. So they put more and more weights on him until he couldn't possibly win. Almost killed him, but it did level the playing field. That's what we do here. We level the playing field. Think fast. We started doing humans at the turn of the century, right before the revolution. Guy named Jordan, supposed to be retired, but he came back and kicked butt anyway. First it was sports, then it was everything. We invented the band, you know.
Yeah, I saw that on TV.
Any priors on this guy?
No, he's clean.
Doesn't look intentional. Just send him a scare letter. You see, if that was an accident, he did the right thing. You should always do your best. Otherwise, we won't know how much to handicap you.
I don't want to rush you, Harrison, but we've got a 1 o'clock at the Administration of Current Censorship.
Okay. I realized when I was watching those shows last night that everything today looks an awful lot like the 1950s. Is that intentional?
Rule number 1 here, everything's intentional. America was happiest in the 1950s. At least that's how people who were alive then remembered it. And after the revolution, the administrators just redesigned the country on that model. Sort of a nostalgia by proxy.
Huh.
It works.
Hello, Harrison. How's it all going?
Pretty mind-boggling.
Oh, I think your mind can withstand considerable boggling. I'm sure you'll have some questions for me soon. When you do, feel free to come see me anytime, please.
Yes, sir.
Without the mouthful.
Today, there are fewer than 100,000 law enforcement officers in the whole country. Less than 3% of what there were before the revolution.
Forgive me for interrupting.
Quite all right. Connie Wang, my assistant. Harrison Bergeron, Philippa's new recruit.
How do you do?
Nice to meet you. I've been speaking to Governor Leslie for the last half hour, and he refuses to stop the execution. Maybe if you could speak to him.
What can we do, Connie? The people make the law. We're only here to advise and help administrate it.
This is the first execution to be held under the new law passed by the Florida legislature that extends capital punishment to traffic offenses. Fred Cisneros is about to pay the ultimate penalty for making an illegal left turn. Beside me is Lorraine Newbound, head of the Miami chapter of the League Against Non-Capital Punishment. Now, Miss Newbound, you are, of course, in favor of this new law.
Absolutely. I just wish they would go one step further and include non-moving violations.
Parking offenses?
Well, a crime is a crime. Why should we pay good money for jails just to keep criminals alive? Death to all crooks.
Thank you, Miss Newbound. As you can see, a black bag is being placed over Fred Cisneros' head. The system is activated, and the juice
Funny. Before the revolution, when I was a kid, executions were rare events. In the old days, there were endless debates among experts about how to fight crime. More prisons, more police, gun control, better rehabilitation, job counseling, training programs. Nothing seemed to work. But when the average people took over the government, they realized they weren't smart enough to come up with a way to fight crime. So they decided to just fight criminals.
Traffic violations.
Well, be fair, Connie. It's worked. There are a lot of fat policemen sitting around in station houses watching soap operas in this country.
But Mr. Shockley, I watch television a lot. There seems to be executions going on every day.
Oh, most of those are reruns. We don't advertise the fact it would hurt the ratings. And we want people to watch for the deterrent value. No, there's very little crime out there.
Well, maybe we should just kill everybody. I mean, that would take care of crime for sure.
Don't fuck with the will of the people, young Harris.
I fight about it with Connie all the time. She says it's better for 100 guilty men to go free than for one to be unfairly executed. I don't know. I mean, I say if those 100 go out and kill 2 innocent people, then the good guys that are -1. I mean, it sounds callous, but it's really just a numbers game. Check.
It's still disturbing to watch.
Don't watch. Oh, hell, I think Shockley's the only one who actually likes to watch. Welcome to life without the band.
Yeah.
Did you ever play chess with Alma?
No, just my brother.
You miss your family, don't you?
Yeah. Kind of. I mean, I couldn't talk to them, but there's a strong biological thing going on. I hate that they think I'm dead.
They barely remember it, Harrison. It's policy that we, hit the family with a little extra juice in cases like yours.
It doesn't make me feel better.
I'm sorry, that was stupid.
What about your family?
Oh, dead, I think. I pretty much grew up here.
Looks like a draw.
All that work for nothing.
Not for nothing. It was a terrific game. And you're terrific. I'm sorry, I should go.
Harrison, before we, exchanged queens tonight, there was a position where you could have had mate in 4. You saw it, didn't you?
No.
That's for the head house. That's for the draw. Even though if you do it again, I'll kill you. That's just because.
Now the other one. Now tell me, Harry, which banana cream pie do you like better? Mine or your mother's?
Well, they're both excellent pies. But I'm sorry, dear, I have to say that yours is the best.
Mother! You told me last week that my banana cream pie was better than hers.
I'm sorry, Mother, it's just...
That's all right. At least I know where I stand. If you think that her banana cream pie is best, enjoy it!
What do you think, Jennifer?
Well, there's certainly nothing fresh or original in the concept. The writing is mundane, the acting is pedestrian. I like it. I think it would go really nicely Tuesday after The Neighbors.
I agree.
Oh.
There were a couple of pretty clever jokes here and there, but I'm sure broadcast standards can weed them out. Let's order 13. What'd you think of it, Harrison?
It was terrible.
Yes, they did a fine job.
I can't believe I used to watch this stuff.
Well, we all did. Even in the old days, television tended to descend to the level of the least common denominator. But now and then, shows of some quality would sneak through. Now, we, on the other hand, have made a conscious decision never to air anything that can't be appreciated by everyone watching. So we've been able to eliminate quality altogether. We're extremely proud of that.
Extremely proud.
Open, please. Every moment of every show on every channel, taped or live, that is seen anywhere in this country is routed through this room. It's totally secure. 20-foot thick steel walls. When that door is locked, no one, no army can get in. Harrison, listen. If you become a member of this department, and I hope you do, you will have enormous responsibility.
Yes, sir.
Let me show you the studio.
Hurricane Walter is gathering force in the Atlantic and moving towards the Carolina coastline at 30 miles per hour. It's too soon to predict exactly where it will strike land, but we urge everyone in that area to take precautions. Stay tuned to this channel for further details as they develop.
Got it. That's great.
So it's tough to work these things?
Nah, just look through here. See, focus, pan, tilt, invoice.
Add 2 donuts and a cup of coffee and you're a cameraman, right, Bert?
Nah, that's for apprentices. We usually go for a half dozen.
Hello.
The Adventures of Robin Hood, The Searchers, North by Northwest, It's a Wonderful Life, and some really great jazz.
I made you something today, down in equalization.
You're very sweet.
What?
This crap is coming out of your hair for good. Oh. You are like a whole century out of date. This whole thing is like some kind of oil company conspiracy. I can't even believe they still use this
I
stuff.
never had any complaints before.
Spare me. Now, promise me you'll never go near this stuff again.
I promise.
I mean it.
So do I. Elma and I didn't. I didn't. I haven't.
I know.
So you'll tell me if I'm doing things right?
You already are.
come right in, Harrison. Come right in. I understand you've completed your orientation?
Yes, sir.
Good. Feeling well?
Yes.
Good, good. Now, I won't promise that I can place you exactly where you want, but is there any particular administrative department that whets your interest?
Well, sir, I think I could be useful in television.
Television? Well, it's the thread that holds together the fabric of our society. Television programming is a grave trust.
I understand.
Well, let's see if I can pull some strings.
That's great.
I was just going to have some coffee. Would you join me?
Thank you.
Harrison, your aptitude scores are just remarkable. Simply remarkable. Black?
Thanks very much.
But on your ideology testing, somewhat erratic. Just what do you really think of our little world?
I think you've set out to create a just society, and you're doing it.
But? Go on, I want to hear.
But it's hard to rationalize that in order to have perfect equality out there, we can do what we want in here.
Well, that's only because we happen to have been born with certain mental capacities. And if it's not equality, then at least it's equality of opportunity. And you're forgetting the sacrifices. No contact with our previous lives, no marriages, no children.
Yeah, that's a tough one to swallow.
Oh, I know. Always takes time. Any other concerns?
Well?
Oh, please.
It's just that anytime I listen to great music or watch a great film, I realize that our society will never produce any more of them. I know the Constitution says that it's the function of government to render all people equal, but still...
It saddens you? It saddens me too, Harrison. Oh, how it saddens me. Do you know this? It's Beethoven, the Emperor Concerto. Can you imagine how I must feel? Knowing that I'm striving to create a world in which no Beethoven will ever be born. But it has to be. Not just because of some words in a constitution. It has to be. Here, look. Bible tells us not to covet, but we covet nonetheless. It's in our damn genes. We covet not only our neighbor's ass, his lands, his possessions, we also covet his appearance, his talent, his intelligence. And once we covet, we hate. And when we hate, this is what happens. For thousands of years, this is what happens. So, if I have to choose between this and eliminating this, I'll put the gun to Beethoven's head myself. Here you go, Harrison. This is a copy. You watch it. Study it well. And as for your television plans, I'll see to it you get set up.
Playback machines play the programs, and these buttons here put them out over the air and into every home in America. There's nothing to it, really.
So let's tell them that in this section here, they've got to be very careful that it isn't too much of one thing or the other. Right here, this is a very amusing moment coming up. To have them cut it out. Make sure that's it. When the little boy reads to the class, let's not hear what he's actually saying, because we don't want to get into a problem with text. And I don't think we should see it. Be sure when the boys and girls stand up tomorrow, they're all going to be the same height. And when they go out the door, if the dog is waiting, have a cat waiting too, so that when they go home, we're not showing any favoritism toward any particular kind of animal.
Central Archives will close at 1200 hours today.
Here's that tape that you asked for.
It's good. Sir? You've settled in quite nicely, Harrison.
Yes, sir.
Listen, I want you to pull some discs on a boxing match and get them up to equalization. Damn promoters, we might be looking at another fix.
Okay, right away. Sir? I've been working on a few ideas for a show. Have you got a minute?
Got the bug, have we?
It's for children, sort of educational. See, I figure we'd invent this magic place with puppets and talking animals and lots of kids and games and stuff. But everyone would be equal. Anyway, I figure, the idea is to make learning fun. So instead of just memorizing the Constitution, we could turn it into a song. I mean, just the same thing with the alphabet. It might make our teachers' jobs a little easier.
And what about the kids who don't see the show?
I don't get you.
Harrison, we can't make people watch television. If the kids who see the show learn more than the kids who don't, well, we just have to jack up their bands anyway. It kind of defeats the purpose. No, you shouldn't learn anything from television. Just put the discs on my desk before you lock up. We'll go over them tomorrow.
Sure.
Mr. President, I believe it to be critical that an extension be given in this particular situation.
No way.
But, Mr. President, the Premier is only asking for another 24 hours. He wants the approval of the Moroccan Parliament. He fears a civil war if he acts without their backing.
Fuck them. I told them 2 weeks ago if they didn't agree to dismantling that factory under our supervision, we'd bomb the shit out of it. Now they got 1 hour to agree, otherwise, bombs away.
But, Mr. President, the installation is only 5 miles outside of Rabat. The nuclear fallout could be apocalyptic.
Well, that's what they get for building a T-bomb when we told them not to. Those cocksuckers gotta learn not to fuck with us. 59 minutes.
Inform the Premier, tell Missile Control to make final preparations for the strike.
You've got to be kidding me. Shouldn't we get Claxon down here?
You know his motto, the will of the people.
Well, this isn't the people. This is some steel worker from Scranton we picked as president.
I'll remind you, Mr. Reynolds, that since that nasty Canadian business, American policy, brutal and unsophisticated as it is, does work. The rest of the world, it seems, has learned to use the president's stirring words that they can't fuck with us.
This Moroccan business is different. The Premier is in an impossible situation with the border dispute in Algeria and the unrest in his military. The President does not understand the complexity of the matter. Now, he may be an average person, but I can assure you leaders of other nations are not average. They are subtle, sophisticated men, and dealing with them takes great skill and patience and diplomacy.
Sir, the Moroccan Premier has agreed to the terms of the President's ultimatum.
As you were saying.
What's wrong? It's this place. I don't know, it's crazy. That McCloskey guy came this close to blowing up Morocco. Newman thought it was sort of funny.
He's a prick.
It shouldn't work like that. I mean, we can do some good here. Just because everyone's equal, maybe we can bring half of the people up rather than bring half of them down.
The smarter people get, the more efficiently they produce. And the more efficiently they produce, the more people get left behind. And that pisses them off. Bingo, revolution. That's why we have a Department of Economic Suppression.
Well, silly me.
That is the thing. That is the beauty and horror of this place. They've thought of everything. They've anticipated everything. It's like the whole future has been rewound and corrected.
Wait a minute. Does that include us? And are we going to be corrected?
Let's get out. Get out. Escape. We could do it. When I go to the head house, you could sneak behind me and we could just run. We could cross the border into Latin Mexico.
From what I can tell, they're worse off than we are.
Yeah, but there are real people there who live real lives. And maybe there's some real lives left over for us.
They're just going to wind up like we are now. I mean, the whole world is going to wind up like we are now. And it's selfish. We have to try and fix things. I mean, the people outside of here, I mean, they're like babies. My parents are like babies. We're responsible for them.
We can't help. Hell, they don't even know that they need help.
Well, you're pretty complicated. Look, you brought me here, remember? I mean, remember, what about all that stuff about envy and equality? I mean, how you want me to leave?
We have to leave, Harrison. Look, I can't explain it right now, okay, but you just have to trust me.
But what if they catch us?
What if they don't?
I won't wear another band.
Please just think about it.
All right, I will.
Soon? No, you're doing fine, Victor. You're just nervous, that's all.
Dr. Eisenstock said, sometimes people on here take off their bands. Do you think I could? I mean, I really like to give you a man.
That won't be necessary. You're doing fine. I was just lucky that time. Would you excuse me for a minute? Tell me about your family.
It's pretty normal, I guess. Mother, a father, 2 dopey sisters, bunch of aunts and uncles. What about you? Where's your family? Hello? Philippa? Hello? Jesus, you scared me.
All right, tell me what you know about this. Where is she?
Ooh, what time is it?
Come on, no games, Harrison. Tell me where she went.
I don't know.
Look at me.
I don't know.
Get dressed.
I can't ask you to do what I would have refused to do if you'd asked it of me. I just have to leave the center for a while, but it's not you. I love you. It's all very confusing, but don't worry about me, I'm fine. And we'll be together soon. I promise.
Well, where's Shockley?
He left last night, sir. We had a runaway in recruiting.
Now, you listen to me. This is very important. No one speaks to her before I do, and no one speaks to Shockley before I do. If you hear from either of them... All right. Where is she?
We got her.
How?
Nothing fancy. It's a long walk into town. We beat her to the station. Doc says she'll be loopy till later tonight.
What does that mean?
Eisenstock, I had to drag the son of a bitch on a bed this morning.
For what purpose, you little...
Scrambled the eggs.
On whose authority?
I don't need authority. It's policy for runaways. In the old days, we used to kill them, remember?
You better leave now, Mr. Shockley.
Where is she?
In there.
Jesus Christ.
Hi.
Don't worry, baby. You'll be all right. We'll fix this.
Fix what?
Nothing. Nothing.
Doc says I've got a brain flu, but it's not serious. Maybe we could get some ice cream when I get out.
Sure. Anything. Whatever you want.
Are you all right?
No.
I'm not all right. I mean, what the hell was that about? I mean, she was gone for 6 hours. Were you afraid she was going to tell the whole world about your little empire?
The operation was a mistake. Nevertheless, when you're recruited, it's for life. You can't leave the center.
Yeah, well, that's bullshit. As soon as she's better, we're both leaving.
I'm afraid that's not possible.
What is your problem, anyway? I mean, she wasn't trying to hurt you. Maybe she just wanted to go to the zoo or ride a bus. You've always got to be in control.
Well, she's not dead. You can still love her.
Yeah, what would you know about it anyway?
Quite a lot, actually. She's my daughter.
What? I thought you weren't allowed to have children inside.
You're not. Abortion is mandatory. But we were close to the director who sent my wife to Dallas on a special assignment. She died before we got her back.
What about Philippa?
Adopted out. Monitored, recruited when she was 9. She's been here ever since.
She doesn't know about it. How could you do that?
Because I believe in what we're doing. I believe in it with all my life. It would be hypocritical to allow children here. We're not trying to build a super race.
Yeah, well, you are a super race. And you are a hypocrite.
The system is perfect, Harrison. Just sometimes the people who run it aren't. Make the arrangements for Dallas. Take her there when she's well enough to travel.
It will take a couple of weeks.
Just do it.
My ass if you damage this. Hey, what are you making? Your own show?
Something like that.
Just wrap that.
The time is now 18:45.
Hey, Jerome. Excuse me. Hi, Harrison. Open, please. Could you give me a hand with this? What the hell are you doing? Back off, Jerome!
Listen, kid, give me that weapon.
I'm not kidding. Come on, let's go. Let's go. I'm not kidding. Come on, get out of here.
Harrison, give me that thing.
Back off.
Let me have that, Harrison.
Want this or?
Harrison!
How did he appear to you?
What do you mean?
He means...
Quiet, Shockley. Did he seem deranged?
Of course he's deranged.
Quiet.
I don't know. It's hard to tell when someone's pointing an automatic at you.
What do you want me to do?
I want you to get cancer. Where's the technician that was in the booth?
He's just outside.
Keep him there. Don't breathe a word of this to anyone. And get Newman.
John.
Get lost. Hello, Harrison.
Hello, Administrator Claxon.
And what exactly do you think you're doing?
I'm starting the Third American Revolution. Maybe we'll get it right this time.
A revolution? All by yourself? And just how are you going to manage to accomplish that?
I'm going to have a little chat with the country, the whole country.
Harrison, listen. I think we can put a stop to this. I could tell them that you did it to test our security. I could arrange it.
Yes, the perquisites of power, very egalitarian.
Oh, is that what this is all about? The idea that I intervened to save Philippa's life over 20 years ago. Is that the crime?
No. The crime is sacrificing 300 million minds in the name of fairness and justice when you and your friends feel free to violate it any time it suits you. Make that 300 million in one now that your daughter's got tapioca for brains.
That was a tragic human error. But it doesn't undermine what we're doing here.
Yeah, well, what you're doing here is fucked. I mean, computer marriages and moronic television, electronic intrusions. You haven't made everybody equal. You've made them the same, and there's a big difference.
They're happy, Harrison. They're happy.
Yeah, well, I'm really fucking unhappy. And you know what? I like it. It's real. I feel alive.
We all admire what you're trying to do. Hell, there isn't a person here that hasn't thought about it, but it just isn't viable.
Harrison, if you don't open the doors, I can't guarantee your safety.
Yeah, and after I wake up this country, I can't guarantee yours.
Open the doors, please.
Sorry, it's showtime.
Yes?
This is Chief Administrator Claxon. I'd like to speak to the President, please.
Yes?
John Claxon here. Let me speak to your husband, if you would.
Could you call back? He's watching his favorite game show, Hates to be Disturbed.
I'm afraid this is urgent. It's a national emergency.
Okay, but he's not gonna like it. Harry, you better come. Some sort of national whatever.
Hello.
Mr. President.
This better be important. Terry's playing for the Big Pumpkin.
Mr. President, there's a young man, a young rebel, who has taken over the television master control room.
So go in and waste them. These little piss ants gotta learn not to fuck with you.
I'm afraid it's not quite as simple as all that. We have to cut through solid steel.
I don't think so.
Hello, everybody.
I said go it.
I'm sorry for the interruption of your usual Sunday night viewing. And please don't try to change channels. You'll find my face on all of them. My name is Harrison Bergeron. I work at a place called the National Administration Center, where, although you don't know it, we run your lives.
Bring on the lasers.
I've illegally taken charge of this control room because I want to get you to overthrow your government and the whole system of forced equalization. Now, the people who came up with this system had really good intentions. They wanted to get rid of envy, which can lead to a lot of terrible things. And they did it, which is great. But what have you had to give up in return? You don't even know, do you? Well, as long as I can stay on the air, I'm gonna try and show you some of the things people are capable of. What you might be capable of too. But for you to understand what I'm gonna try and show you, you're gonna have to do something you've been told is wrong and evil. You're gonna have to take off your band. Please, take it off. Right now. It's not evil. If it was, why would we administrators be allowed to walk around without them? Yes, that's right. We are.
I don't care. Just get them there now.
Take it off. I'll bet once you do, you never allow another government to make you put it on again. Now, what I want to show you is a bunch of videos and discs made before the revolution of athletes and musicians, singers and dancers, and actors and comedians. And I better warn you, you're gonna envy these people. I know I do. I think you'll find that seeing and hearing them is worth a little envy. Now, this first is a great saxophone player. You've never heard anything like it. The music is called jazz. If you haven't taken your band off yet, do it now. Please.
Unit 1 underway.
Unit 1 into position. Shit. All ID disabled. Hold your positions.
you have word on any disturbances as yet?
No, not yet. Police and military are on alert all around the country.
This next is a film made in the early 1900s by one of the funniest guys of all time, Buster Keaton. He's so great, but it's silent. So if you've forgotten how to read, and I know that a lot of you have, just get somebody to read the words they say. The mountains kiss high heaven, and the waves clasp one another. No sister flower would be forgiven if it disdained its brother. And the sunlight clasps the earth, and the moonbeams kiss the sea. What is all this sweet work worth, if thou kiss not me? It's a pretty cool poem, huh? Before I go on, can I just say a few words to some people I know who must be pretty surprised to see me up here. See, my family and friends think I'm dead. It's the same for everyone brought into the administration. That's because the people who run things figure that if you all found out there's a place like this with people who get these special privileges, you wouldn't stand for it. Well, I hope they're right about that. Anyway. Hi, Dad. I see the Packers are finally going back to the Super Bowl this year. That's great. And hey, Garth, how's your chess game, buddy? You found anybody you can beat yet? What about you, Mom? I thought a lot about you at Christmas time. I love the snow. I miss you. I hope we can all be together again real soon. As whole people. A family. No bands, no government. Just people. I love that movie. I don't know how much time I have left in here. Hell, I don't even know if you can hear me.
How soon?
But I hope
Shouldn't
you
be
can.
long.
hope you've taken off your bands and destroyed it. I hope you understand what I've been trying to show you. See, the most important thing about a person is what makes him different from anybody else. And that difference is what's going to make someone else fall in love with you. See, I know this because since I've been in here, I've been lucky enough to really love someone and to know all the things about her that are special and that are different and love all of them. And that kind of love, real love, it's the greatest thing in the world. And when they took away envy, they took away love, too. I hope we have time for one more, but I wouldn't bet on it.
And if you so much as entertain the idea you'll kill him, I will surely kill you.
What's happened?
Very little, Harrison.
The broadcast. Did people take off their bands?
Yes. And then they put them back on again right afterwards.
Even after seeing
all those wonderful shows? Yes, I'm afraid so. Actually, you've done me a great service. Over the years, I've had considerable qualms about depriving people of the joys you've just been showing them. As it turns out, I wasn't depriving them at all. Well, actually, that isn't entirely true. Some people were really moved and touched and delighted by your tapes. But only 1.3%.
1.3%?
Error margin of 0.2. The general public really didn't notice any difference at all. To them, it was all just television.
Well, I'm not going to take the operation, so you're just going to have to kill me.
I don't think either of those will be necessary.
What do you mean?
Well, the 1.3% who believed what you had to say about feelings and real love still represents over 3 million people who could conceivably foment civil unrest. You'd be able to save them and us one hell of a lot of trouble.
How?
Well, you remember that Orson Welles radio version of the War of the Worlds way back in the 1930s, where he convinced half of America they were being invaded by Martians? You could go on the air again and say that what you did was the same sort of thing.
That it was a hoax?
That it was a kind of play that you were just performing.
My family and friends, I mean, they must realize that they were lied to about my being dead.
Everyone you ever knew has had the electronic intrusions from their bands tripled.
You're a bastard.
Harrison, it wasn't a coincidence that Philippa recruited you. From the very beginning, I knew you had it in you to one day be a leader, that there was a little of me in you. I won't be here forever, son. What I'm saying is, you were selected.
Did she know?
No. But Philippa has good taste. I assumed that you'd get together.
And do what?
Carry on.
Well, you were wrong.
Yes, about many things, but not about the center. There is no other way to live in peace, and you, young Harrison, have threatened that peace. It's time to undo the damage.
I want to see her.
She's not here.
Well, then send someone to her apartment and bring her back.
She's gone, Harrison. She's relocated.
Son of a bitch.
I have to live with that. So can you. Philippa is going to have a contented life. And you can have a rewarding one. You can help people. You do me that small service. I'll see to it you're always informed about her life.
Thank you and welcome to Chat with Charlie. Today's guest is a young man who just a few weeks ago put on one of the most amazing shows in television history. Won't you welcome, please, Harrison Bergeron. You know, Harrison, a lot of people, me included, thought that what we saw that Sunday night was real. You scared the pants off of us.
Well, I'm sorry if I frightened anyone. What I did was only meant to entertain.
So it was just all made up? Pretend, like any other TV movie?
Exactly.
And you never took over a control booth?
Nope.
And there's no secret headquarters with mysterious people who run everything and get special privileges?
Of course not.
And you didn't really want people to take their bands off?
No way. We know what happens to people who transgress, and no performer wants to lose his audience.
Oh. But there is still one thing that does bother me. You are a great actor. Now, maybe you're acting right now. How can we be absolutely sure that this was not real?
Well, because if what happened that night was real, I wouldn't be alive now, and I am alive, aren't I?
That's true. I didn't even think of that. I'd say that's proof positive.
That's right, Charlie. Nothing you saw on TV that night was real. Any more than what you're about to see right now is real.
No, son.
George, camera one, do something. Oh, my God, he shot himself! What's going on here?
Music!
Do camera two. Camera one, get out of there.
Music! Music!
She's pregnant.
Do real two right now. Come on, get him.
Jeez. What a son of a bitch.
What just happened?
I'm not sure. Something sad, I think.
I'll get it, Mom. It's just Todd. Hi.
Hi.
We're going up.
Okay.
Guess what I got?
What?
Hours 1 through 4.
Fantastic. Where'd you get it?
I traded with Alan Wyman for hours 5 through 7.
But that had the Keaton on it.
It's just a temporary trade. You want to watch it?
Sure. Isn't your mom home?
It's all right. She's sort of out of it. Oh, and guess what else? Alan says his cousin in Cleveland has the one where the guy actually shoots himself in the head. He's coming this summer, and he said he'd bring it.
Great. Although I'm not really sure I want to watch that. I mean, he seems like such a cool guy.
Yeah.
This next one's jazz. I think you're gonna like it.